Welcome to DC Talks presents DC Academy, imparting ideas, insights, and innovation. I'm Jay Tolentino, and I am your host. First, I'd like to invite everyone to watch other videos in our DC Academy series. So today, we'll be talking about different CRM strategies to drive acquisition and retention. How can you build and nurture your customers through automation and personalization? How powerful is CRM to understand customer behavior? And we will discuss all about that here. So today I'll be joined by our guest. She is the CRM Manager for Denarii Cash. She has a combined 6 years experience in CRM management, SEO, creative, product development, and product management. Help me welcome Miss Ayesha Mansha. Hello, Ayesha.
Hi Jay, how are you?
I'm doing good. How's everything there in Pakistan?
It's good, so far so good.
Thank you for joining me today, by the way. And can you tell us more about your role and your journey in Denarii Cash?
I joined Denarii Cash 1.5 years ago. Initially, the team has empowered me to be involved with everything in the business. And the reason for that is to know the business inside out. But right now, I'm managing the creative team and mainly managing the CRM, which is engaging our customer through their user journey.
Okay, well, I understand how important CRM is because for my personal business, I also have my very own. But to our audience who's watching this right now, in simple terms, what do you mean by CRM?
Well, CRM is the most interesting thing. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. And it is not just a sales tool, it is a process or methodology used to learn more about customers' needs and behaviors in order to develop stronger relationships with them. The more useful way to think about CRM is as a process that will help bring together lots of pieces of information about customers, sales, marketing effectiveness, responsiveness, and marketing trends. So in general, CRM helps the business use technology and human resources to gain insight into the behavior of customers and the value of those customers.
Wow, sounds really interesting with what you've mentioned. And why do you think businesses should have a CRM strategy, and why is it important?
Well, CRM helps analyzing in the interaction with your customers. So in simple words, let's assume you are running a business. You have various services that user need, but you do not know which user will use which service at which time and when to remind them to use that service. This is where CRM takes its part. It helps business to nudge users more accurately at a specific time about the specific service that they may use.
Timing is indeed very important in every business or in every marketing material that you have to promote. Do you think a company can survive without having a CRM setup?
Well, without CRM, a company can exist, but it may not be able to deliver the services that their customer expect and deserve, and eventually they will fail in this fast-moving technology world. Let me elaborate my answer. So today, when multiple companies are providing similar services, it is important to have a relationship with your customers so they can stay loyal, you can have more sales, you can stay on their mind and whatnot. Also, there was a research that I was reading 2 days ago, and I would just like to quote one sentence from that research. So according to that research, it costs 5 times more to attract a new customer than it does to retain an existing one. And increasing customer retention rates by only 5% increase profit by 25 to 95%. Isn't it amazing? So looking after and nurturing your existing customers should be a no-brainer.
That's true. And like what you said a while ago, CRM plays really a very important role in sustaining a business and helping it expand. And I like what you mentioned that a business can exist even without a CRM, but it cannot scale or it cannot reach its full potential if there's no strategy in place. Talking about the strategy, can you tell us about your winning CRM strategy in Denarii Cash, and how has it worked, and how often do you iterate?
So actually at Denarii Cash, we have a user-centric environment, which means we value user above all. We read and consider every word of their feedback, which helps us get better. Besides, we have built a CRM based upon user behavior and their activities on our app. Now, elaborating my answer, so we have segmented user based on their activities, behaviors, attributes. And email is not the only way we reach out to our users. We use notifications, SMS, banners, pop-up within the app, and even calls from customer support. Another point we focus on is how to respond to user behavior. Now, there are some users who will do exactly the way we want them to do. And there are some users who will not do the way we want them to react or the activities we want them to perform. So we send them messages according to their type, such that sometimes the content is persuasive, sometimes it is creating scarcity of any offer, sometimes it is informative, warning, and sometimes the content is just emotional to nudge the user. But every user receives message, email, and SMS, even call on different time and totally according to their behaviors and attributes. In simple words, you and I, let's take an example, you and I both are Denarii Cash users. We will get message, email, SMS according to our type on our app. And for example, if you're not using the Denarii Cash app, then we will get nudged differently, which means we will get notifications differently. So we mainly have two goals at Denarii Cash. So we make sure that a user who signs up with us use our service regularly, and the users who have used our service refer Denarii Cash to other users. So with CRM, we just make sure we accomplish these two goals.
Well, no wonder why I keep getting some pop-up messages from Denarii Cash. Probably I am part of the statistics in your CRM, right? Yeah, well, you mentioned that users get different emails and notifications like what I'm receiving. How do you manage it on the back end? I'm just curious.
So, well, it is simple. We have various campaigns running on the back end at the same time. Each campaign has two conditions. Condition when user will enter the campaign and the condition when user will leave that campaign and enter some other campaign. For example, there are some campaigns that focus on the awareness phase of user. Now, awareness phase of user starts when he signs up with us. We assume that he knows nothing about our app, so we start awareness phase of user in which we tell him more about our app day by day through emails, notifications, SMS, app pop-ups, and whatnot. And then there are some campaigns which focus on transactions, referrals, user engagement, use of other services, etc. However, we do make sure that every point that no user receive a message from two different campaigns at the same time. This is because this method actually works with human psychology. If you persuade one user to do one thing at a time, he is more likely to do it.
Now, lastly, Ayesha, what advice can you share to other companies when it comes to coming up with formulating an effective CRM strategy? I think this is my personal question to you.
Well, my advice would be use your CRM not only to send emails, but to understand user, their feedback and their behavior. Purpose of this tool is to build relationship with user. You should also measure progress of every campaign and improve your campaigns iteratively as you move forward. So this is really important. Most of the companies don't do this thing. They just use CRM to send emails and notifications, but they don't measure and they don't get better. So this is important.
Yeah, I think I should learn from that statement. I just use my CRM to capture the details of my clients, my prospects, and my leads. Thank you for that wonderful answer. Before we come to a close, let me just give you a quick recap of what just happened with my interview with Ayesha. So I learned through this interview that how CRM is very important in building a strong business. And like what Ayesha said, it's not just used for your sales, for your marketing, or just used to send emails. Your CRM has to be beneficial, not just to you, but also to your customers. It has to address their needs, their wants, and their interests. So having a strategy in managing your CRM plays a critical role in expanding your business. So I learned a lot from this interview, by the way, and I'll definitely apply what Ayesha said in my personal business. Now, Ayesha, is there anything else that you wish to add?
So enjoy the perks of CRM when you have the tool and try to make things automated on the basis of user behavior and level. CRM is not only about making sales, it is so much more. It helps you keep your user engaged, updated, retain the user, and measure the progress, and also check the conversions, etc.
Thank you, everyone. We hope that you've learned a lot from us today. And if you want to catch me, Ayesha, or the entire Denarii Cash team, please feel free to send us a message. Again, this has been DC Talks presenting DC Academy, imparting ideas, insights, and innovation. This is Jay Tolentino, and I am your host. Thank you for watching.